So, reporting on this third round of the Conservative leadership contest, and as I predicted, everybody is in the same position as they were last time, with Rishi Sunak, the former Chancellor of Exchequer, still in pole position. So, if you're outside the United Kingdom, you might not realise that that means finance minister. Only the UK calls it finance minister. And Penny Mordaunt is still in second place. She's popular amongst grassroots Conservatives. Sunak would get 113 votes, but I was very slightly off. He got 115. And what else did I say about the others? Just trying to look at the actual statistics. Yeah. So Kemi Baddock got 58, but I said she'd get 45. So she rather exceeded my expectations. I thought more people would desert her and go for the higher ranked candidates. Now I said Tom Tugendhat would get 26, but he didn't shed as many votes as I predicted. He got 35 votes. And then let me see. So I'm just trying to look up the other actual stats to compare them with what I forecast for various people. Yeah, so I said that, so Liz Truss got 71 votes. Now I said she'd get 84, so didn't do as well as I thought. Penny Mordaunt, I said she'd get 88. She's on 81. She actually lost a vote from last time, which is surprising, because obviously the previous round there were only 6 candidates. This time there were 5, and he thought some of those votes from the eliminated candidate, Suella Braverman, would go to the major candidates. I thought some more of the Tom Tugendhat votes would go to her, but I was mistaken about that. So there was. I was very accurate about Rishi Sunak, fairly accurate about Penny Mordaunt, somewhat inaccurate about Liz Truss, wrong about Kemi Badenoch. She went up considerably more than I thought, and actually quite wrong about Tom Tugendhat, who didn't shed as many votes as I thought. Well, I'm not gonna hazard a guess for the next ballot in actual statistics. So what I think is going to happen is Tom Tugendhat, a moderate, his votes, his 35 votes, will mostly go to Penny Mordaunt, but I think there's still not going to be enough for her to overtake Sunak. Rishi Sunak is sitting pretty. He's going to be number one at the end of the next round. That's the fourth round. Because why will those Tugendhat votes go to Rishi Sunak? Well, they're both on the left of the party, and they're both anti-Boris Johnson, so go to him for that reason. Whereas Penny Mordaunt, she is a centrist in the party, sort of a stop Boris candidate. I think over-promoted, doesn't really know what she's talking about, and has been in the cabinet for some time. She was the first woman ever to be defence secretary. She held that post for less than 3 months. So I don't think she's going to gain that many more votes. So Liz Truss, I don't think is going to quite overtake her. Kemi Badenoch, some of her voters might go for Liz Truss. Liz Truss is probably just too far ahead. I don't think Kemi Badenoch can overtake her, because who's going to vote for Kemi who didn't vote for her at all? Kemi's perceived as being on the right of the party. She was a leaver. She's an anti-woke person, and so on. And so she was fairly close to Boris Johnson. Anyway, so yeah, I think obviously she will be eliminated next time, leaving it Rishi Sunak, Penny Mordaunt, and Liz Truss in their current position. But Penny Mordaunt rather further ahead than she is at the moment. Because remember, Boris Johnson, he's not officially endorsing anybody. People know behind the scenes he's actuated by rancour. He feels he's been poignarded in the back by Rishi Sunak. So stop Rishi is his mantra. If he can't be Prime Minister himself, Boris Johnson wants to deny the crown to Rishi Sunak. So who's the candidate best placed to stop Rishi Sunak? The only one really is Penny Mordaunt. Liz Truss is a bit too far behind. I mean, Liz Truss is closer to Boris Johnson in many ways. He probably prefers her to Penny Mordaunt, sees Liz Truss as more capable, as I do. I mean, my preferred person is Kemi Badenoch. But as I say, it's almost certain she's going to be eliminated next round. So I predict going into the final ballot, well, the top two, when it comes to it, the two people on the final ballot will be Rishi Sunak and Penny Mordaunt in that order, and those will go to the mass membership. And I think that Penny Mordaunt will get it, but I would actually prefer Rishi Sunak. I think he's abler, cleverer, got a better record in government, on and on and on. And no, I don't agree with him on everything. So Yeah, what else about this leadership race? I mean, Kemi Badenoch is refusing to concede. So Liz Truss, she gained only 7 votes in this last round. You think I thought she's going to gain rather more than that. So anyway, although she's at least going up, Penny Mordaunt come down by 1. So Tom Tugendhat didn't bow out, and as predicted, he came last. One thing we can say for certain is the next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom shall not be a white male. 4 people still left in it, 3 of whom are ladies, and 2 of whom are non-white. What was I going to say? So what would be a first is if Kemi Badenoch, a black person, became Prime Minister, or indeed Mr. Sunak, who's a man of Indian extraction. Anyway, so Team Trust say, well, they're happy, there's everything to play for. So Kemi Badenoch, as I say, 13 votes behind Liz Truss. I don't think Kemi Badenoch will overtake Liz Truss. I could be mistaken. But logic would dictate a few of Kemi Badenoch's supporters say, okay, she's not going to win. We're going to have to give them to somebody who's roughly our ideology, who could win, and that'd be Liz Truss. Yeah. But I could be mistaken. That didn't happen last time. You know, the 31 votes that Tom Tugendhat polled. As I say, he's a moderate. He's on the left of the party. He was a Remainer. Now, of those who are in it, Penny Mordaunt was the only one who actually campaigned for Remain. But so possibly some of them go to her. The problem is Tugendhat's voters will be somewhat split between Penny Mordaunt and Rishi Sunak. But I think probably a bit more Rishi Sunak, because Tom Tugendhat is very anti-Boris. And remember, Boris Johnson's, his whole objective here is to prevent Rishi Sunak winning. Well, how do you know how old I am, D-Raz? I was at university with Rishi Sunak, but so far as I know, I never met him. I might have been well in the same room as him. A very close friend of mine knew him rather well, also being at Lincoln with him. But if I met Rishi Sunak, I don't recall it. So if he becomes Prime Minister, he'll be the second ever person who went to Winchester College to become Prime Minister. The only other one was Henry Addington. You like these Shelley videos? Down the romantic rabbit hole. 90, you like those romantic videos. Well, I've written a very, very long essay, a 50,000 word essay on Shelley, which I could send to you perhaps. So I was utterly obsessive about him for a while. So Kemi Badenoch, she's got some fascinating backers like Ben Bradley, for instance. So I think she's laying out a very positive agenda. She's quite unusual. She's 41. The oldest candidate was the one just eliminated, who was Tom Tugendhat, who was 49. The people who eliminated early on, Jeremy Hunt and Nadeem Zahawi, they were in their 50s. So people like Kemi Badenoch, you know, who loses out this time, she could be Prime Minister later. She's got enough decades to go in politics. Suella Braverman, likewise. I know she's eliminated the time before this one. You know, Liz Truss is 45. She could get it later. None of them is too old to have a second crack at this. Penny Mordaunt's the oldest still in contention. She's 48. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. So what do you think? Let me know. Remember, 115 for Rishi Sunak, 82 for Penny Mordaunt. Yeah. So what did I say? Why is Boris against Rishi? Because Rishi brought him down. He feels betrayed by Rishi Sunak. Penny Mordaunt got 82 and I said 88. So Liz Truss got 71, I said 84. So I was wrong about that. Kemi Badenoch, I said 45, she got 58. Tom Tugendhat got 31, I said he got 26. So fairly accurate on her. Bye.